All right, welcome everybody to the IDX Broker Sales Q&A for kind of a general open question. I will answer everything to the best of my knowledge. If for any reason it's something that's I'm not able to do or able to answer, I will provide you with the correct resource so you can get that answered. A couple of things to check out on our main page if you have any questions too. If you just go to idxbroker.com, we have a couple of different areas that are really good for being able to look up some of our tools, and that's going to be clicking the support button up here in the top right hand corner. This is going to take you to our Knowledgebase articles, and then we also have our new learning center, our IDX Academy, which is learn.idxbroker.com. And this is a great tool here, so you can do courses. You can actually log in and create an account. It'll keep track of all of your progression so that you don't go back and watch duplicate stuff. So excellent. I have a question right off the bat. Thank you, Judy. It says, would you please go over how to add a widget to our WordPress website? Absolutely. My demo website is just my name, just jefftrue.com. And everything's going to be up here. So if you want to go check it out, you can go mess around. Nothing here is personalized. This is all basically what you get kind of out of the box. Directly from IDX Broker, and the only thing that's on here is tools of IDX Broker. So some of the widgets that are available, Judy, is going to be the Showcase widget, which is this right here. This allows you to choose the maximum number of listings that you want to display, and then you'll choose, typically you're going to choose for it to be responsive, and then you'll choose the maximum number of columns that you want. So for this particular Showcase widget, mine is set up at 10 maximum listings with 5 columns, so it gives me 2 rows, keeps it very even and very clean. The next listings widget is going to be a carousel widget. It looks like it kind of bumped up a little bit. So you can choose the number of listings wide that you would like to view. If this is set up between 2 and 10, this one here is set up at 4, allows you to cycle through 4 at a time. And then this is set up at actually 8, so you can cycle through 8 of these at a time. And then the last one that's available is a slideshow widget, which I have embedded down here inside the footer. This will go through one property at a time and cycle through every 5 seconds. So doing these specifically for WordPress is going to be pretty easy. Everything does match over and pull over from the API. So as far as creating the widget, just go to your Designs, Widgets, and Create. We're going to choose the ones that we want. So we'll go ahead and do a Showcase widget. Properties to feature. This is where you can choose what you want to do. This can be either featured listings, so any listings that belong to you, or for every agent ID number that's associated with this account, or you can break them down by, for instance, like featured agent properties. So it can be like if you have a multi-user account of 100 agents and you want to display one featured listing agent and their properties, you can click on this and choose that agent. It would pull in just their featured listings on that widget. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Custom Search. This is going to allow me to choose a search page that I want. Most commonly used would be an advanced search page, so you can use the advanced search filters. On any of these, you can choose your locations, city, county, postal, zip code. Let's try hitting that button. You can set your price range, minimum, maximum. You can add any advanced search filters in here. So if you find everything that's got a driveway, that's got a city view. And what we'll do is, typically what you want to do is go to view results in a new window just to make sure that it is going to pull in results. Abraham, this is going to cover both actually. I'll show you both in the meantime. And we're going to go down here and name our widget. So we'll do Q&A webinar. And what we'll do, so you can set it to be responsive, yes or no. Typically, like I said, is going to be yes. Choose the maximum number of columns and the maximum number of listings. So let's say if I do maximum number of 9 listings with 3 columns, it's going to give me 3 over, 3 wide. Carousels is actually going to be the exact same process, just a matter of the display is going to be a carousel and not a showcase. Now, the next thing you can do, you can change the sorting order with this one. Newest listings, oldest listings, least expensive to most, and so on and so forth. Pretty much a common with any type of real estate website. And then you've got these 2 options. You can open links in a new window. So when somebody clicks on one specific property, it will actually open that up in a new tab or new window, depending on what you want. Another option is to display all results link right below it. So when you have this right here below your carousel or your showcase widget, view all results, this will actually take you to a results page of that predefined search. If it is a featured result or a featured listings widget, it'll be the same thing. It'll just go to your featured page and pull all those listings in. So we're going to go ahead and do build widget, and we're done. So while it's going to take a little while for the API to pull over this widget, which it may not do in this meantime before we move on to the next section, but basically on WordPress, it will pull that widget over to the API. I'll show you that little section and how to drag and drop that. As far as non-WordPress, if you want to create a widget and embed that somewhere into your website, you've got two options here. You can grab this code right here. This is going to be the same code we're going to go to on this next screen, but I also like to make sure that we are pulling in what we want and how we want it before we apply it to the website. So if you click on Preview Widget, it'll open up in a new tab and kind of give you a general idea of how it's going to be. And keep in mind, my container on my website is almost full page, so these are going to be very large. This would probably look better if it was done at 5 wide, bring the images down a little bit. So we've got 3 wide, 3 tall for my 9. And then right here's where you can grab that embed script that you can copy and then paste into anywhere on your website. Inside the WordPress dashboard, Impress by IDX Broker is our plugin for IDX Broker. Run a refresh here and see if we can get that one to pull over. Like I said, it may not pull it over right away, but I can show you where all the widgets are and how to add those to somewhere on your website. Over here on the appearance section, we're going to have our widget section. So once that API refreshes, I'll open up this page. There it goes. So we'll go appearance, widgets. And now what this is going to do is you can choose the different areas that you have. So if you're using a content sidebar on your IDX pages, you can have that here. So your content will be on the left, right, whatever, and your sidebar's on the right. You can add widgets on those results details pages. On here you'll have your home middle and home bottom is where I currently have my stuff. And let's go see if we have our Q&A. So I got it right here. So what we'll do is you got two options. You can click on this and tell it where you want it to go. Or you can take and drag and drop this where you want this to go. So if we'll take this back up, got a long list of things to go through here. So we can throw this anywhere. So we're going to throw this one right below the showcase widget, the other showcase widget. So we'll add that. You can add your own additional title to this. If not, it's going to use what's available. We'll hit save, and we will hard refresh this page. And you can see here, here's our one right below the showcase that we created, and here's the other one. So this is very simple for adding this into that page. So basically drag and drop once they're pulled over into that. And then the same thing goes as far as like a non-WordPress. You're just going to go into the HTML section of that page and embed that script wherever you want that to be. Where do you connect WordPress to IDX with the API? We'll jump back into that. Underneath your home button, you're going to have your API for your specific account. You'll take and copy this API key. And back in here, once you download this Impress by IDX Broker WordPress plugin, what you'll do is you'll go in here and paste this key here, and you're going to refresh this plugin option. That's how it's going to connect the API for linking your IDX account directly with your WordPress dashboard, pulling over your page link URLs, your widgets, featured listings. Got a couple of questions here. It says, how can I add more specific branding to results? My picture and phone number. Can I make it look like I am a person to contact for any and all listings? Absolutely. Those are going to be custom subheaders. Underneath our designs in our subheaders. So you can do this in a couple of different ways. You've got your global settings, so this will be on any IDX page. It will always have whatever you put in this custom subheader. This custom subheader could be any information that you want. It could be an image, a contact, it can be a video, whatever you want to put there, it's completely up to you. What I've got here, for instance, you probably want something kind of similar to this. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we will see what we can do. So we're going to go into the global section. So this way here, instead, let's say you set on results pages. So we're going to go to categories and click results. So I'm going to now paste We'll just do it by the mouse. So now we're going to do categories and go back to results pages, and we're going to paste it. So all of this is information, so you can pretend this is your small logo and your contact information on there. And we will save our changes. Okay, so now we put it to be on all results pages. So what we can do is we're going to go in here and we're going to go to a results page. And once this displays, it's now going to, it's going to throw a custom subheader up above. So on any results page, it's going to apply this specific custom subheader. So it's always going to have your image, contact information, whatever you want to put in there. So here's my image, my contact information, a brief little description, and it now will display the results because this is on an actual results page for you. How can I change the settings to start a more mid-range value in the new listings? I don't know if you're going to get a mid-range value instead of, I think, are you asking, maybe Craig, are you trying to go like sorting, or are you like the default search, pricing and that kind of stuff? If we go back up into our control panel, let's see, Craig, do you want to let me know what you're looking to do? If it's just always on, for new listings, it always starts with multi-million dollars. So maybe your sort filter is set to newest or highest price to lowest price, maybe. So under your search pages, if we go to our search setup, you can change your defaults on this. So where it says sort by here, you can maybe do like newest listings. Now you can't choose like a mid-range price. It would either be newest listings, oldest listings, least expensive to most, and then you got beds and baths, high to low, low to high. Is all your, oh, we got one more. Oh, you can do it by square foot, low to high, high to low. So anyways, you can set a default that way as far as doing that. And you can maybe on your default search pages, you can choose that mid-range price points to start with. So you can actually control your minimum price defaults and your maximum price defaults on your specific search pages. But as far as like choosing like a mid-range, there's not really a way to do that and then be able to do everything out from there. Question, for the logo, can display at the bottom left particular list? Mine shows IDX. No, that one is between a terms and a service. With the MLS, it actually does have to display who the IDX, or if it's an MLS, sometimes they will have that inside there. Okay, do I need to create new page for each search in WordPress? No, not inside WordPress you don't. Actually, that's because with IDX, all the data is housed on our servers. So all the IDX pages are going to be pulled over and created from the IDX dashboard. So if we just go back into our pages section here, all your search pages, if you create all these custom search pages, these are all going to be an individual URL, which you can click on these and it'll show you what the URL is for that specific search page. So like here's one for Houston rental. Oops, probably not a good idea. So you can see right here, the main one here is going to be search IDX and then search, then Houston rental. That is a specific URL. If we go into the WordPress dashboard, we go to our appearance, our menus, is probably the easiest way to see this. You can also go to pages up there and see that. Here's our pages tab. If we click on the IDX pages, the API, like I mentioned before, is going to pull over all your pages and all your widgets directly into the dashboard. When you click on view all, this is literally every page that is in my IDX Broker account that I have created. Anything you want to add to this, you select which pages you want, you add them to menu on your navigation, completely up to you. If you go create like a blog post or just a regular page, you can also link them to those IDX Broker pages from within there using shortcode, however you want to do that. So the interface is actually going to pull everything over, choose which pages you want, and you can apply it. You can turn them into a navigation menu where you got like property search, then you can have all the search pages underneath it. So when you hover over it, it expands these out. And then when you hover over schools, it can expand these out. Hopefully that kind of helps you out a little bit, Judy. Do you have to create a page for each city? No, not necessarily. One thing that we really encourage is creating as many hyperlocal content pages as you can. So as many predefined searches. Every IDX page, when set up on a custom subdomain, is going to give you all the SEO credit. So over time, it's not going to happen immediately. You got to figure it's going to happen, months down the road, even years. But we have lots of clients that have created landing pages that are actually ranking #1 inside that search term. You want to create long tail URLs, very similar to how somebody might be potentially coming to the area or wanting to move to a specific new area from where they're at. You have total control over the long tail URLs on all these pages. And these are called save links. So underneath our designs and save links, we can go into create. I'm going to go into manage because this is the same thing we just did on building our widget. I want to kind of give you the options of what you can do. So you can name any of these that you want. Here's one, for instance. This person wants to really narrow down on condos. So pet-friendly condos. So this one here is, we created a page name. It's called Pet-Friendly Condos for Sale in Wilton Manors with dogs over 20 pounds or animals over 20 pounds. Same thing, we did a very general one, Pet-Friendly Condos for Sale in Wilton Manor, so the whole thing. So you can break as many of these down as you want. It can be anything. It can be by price range. It can be by a property feature, by an area. Golf courses. So here's one for Albuquerque Golf Course. The more you create of these, the better off you're going to be. Very simple search terms. East Eugene real estate for sale. Think hyperlocal in what you want to draw in for that potential client. Eugene homes for sale with 4 beds. Very simple, very basic. I'm going to pop into that one just real quick, kind of show you the preferences. So we can get in here. This is where you're going to have the SEO settings. So once you go create the predefined searches, you're going to choose all the certain areas by city, county, postal zip code, price ranges, beds, baths, anything. Choose as many advanced search filters as you want. When you go to the next step, this is where you're going to show up in SEO settings. This is your page title, Eugene homes for sale with 4 beds. That's automatically going to pop up your long tail URL for you. So right now it's going to be, for mine, it's https://search.jefftrue.com. That's my custom subdomain is search. /I is going to mean in our system that it's a saved link. And then it's going to generate Eugene homes with 4 beds. You can now get in here and add as many meta tag descriptions, as many meta tag keywords as you want. And then we talked about subheaders earlier. This is the exact same thing. You can add, I actually have the same thing still in there on my saved. So we just created a custom subheader. You can go take images of houses in a certain area. If it's around a golf course community, go take pictures of the golf course, add them to your own website, add your own content, add your own YouTube video. You can take an embed script and put them in there. Each of these has its own HTML script or section, the source editor. Embed that YouTube script right there and you've got it up and running. I'll show you a page here in just a moment. We're going to save our changes and we're actually going to go back and preview this one. Go back into save links and manage. Okay, Eugene homes with 4 beds. So this little I over here is our preview link. It's actually going to open that up and load it up for us. So now we're going to have our custom subdomain. Looks like I added it twice. My bad. So now we have Eugene homes for sale with 4 beds. That's my long tail URL right there. My custom subheader doubled up. And now it's going to pull in all the listings from this predefined search that I have in here. So here's my map up above. And then it's going to start showing all my results from that specific area. If you can go create a couple hundred of these, it's a lot of work. Do it over time. Do a couple here and there. Try to think hyper-local. Talk with your friends and kind of ask them, like, hey, if you were to buy a house in such and such an area, how would you search for it in Google? Try to think and communicate with others in your area that can kind of help you out with building up your SEO for these organic traffic leads. How can I limit the cities offers in a search? There are currently many cities that I don't serve in the list. That's a good question. Some MLSs, like for my area, we cover almost our entire state under one section. what we're going to do is we're going to go to Preferences, City, County, Postal Code Lists. Two different options. You can manage an existing list, the default list, or you can create a new one. If you already know the exact cities you want to utilize, you want to create a new one. If you do manage a new one, it's going to still use the default. So let's say, for instance, if there's no listings in one particular city, you have an agent that comes in and puts one random listing in your MLS, but it's not really from that area. It'll then provide that to be a listing because it's a dynamic updated list. So we're going to do create. This is a little easier to use. So you can go choose each one of these, city, county, postal, zip code. We're going to do city. So what you're going to do, this is a big process, but it does work. You're going to go in here and do bulk add from existing, or you can go in here and add a single line item. So we're going to do a bulk add just so you can see it. So our MLS is where I'm at. This is where I was mentioning it's pretty much our entire state. When you click add, it's going to dump everything in here. So it's a pretty large little list. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to go in here now, because we're creating our own one, we're going to get rid of everything that we don't want on here. As you can see, there's some stuff in Washington that I'm definitely not going to be going to. It's a 3-hour drive at the absolute minimum. So you'll go through here and remove which ones you don't want. So it can be kind of a little longer deal. But basically what you're going to do is let's go through and get rid of these Washingtons just real quick. So it does take a little bit of time. Perfect. And then we're doing remove selected. So now we've limited to all the cities. This is all in my immediate area right here. So now this is my only searchable fields when somebody comes to my website. They're not going to be able to see anything else, and nothing else can be added because this is a created one. So we'll do finalize and continue. You can name this city list. So I can name this like Lane County. These are cities inside my county. Save new list. And then it's going to pop up. You can go in and apply to search pages. You can choose where you want these specific search pages. So when you go back into your designs and your pages, I will go to advanced search. You can actually choose your custom city lists that you want to set up inside these. So you can apply them to, you can apply a specific city list to these specific pages. So you have that option to go in there and choose them for separate types of searches. So you can have advanced search be a little bit different city lists. You can have basic search do a different area, or add a couple more cities, whatever you want. So you can go in there and choose which city list you want to apply right down here. So list options, default, or I can choose Lane County. And then you save your changes. So now basic search pages for this particular one is only going to allow the client to work on this city list that I chose, which is Lane County. Or you can do the default, which will show everything. Questions about the wrapper, kind of explain it a little bit. Basically what a wrapper is it's going to copy over the header and the footer of my main website and the overall design and brand. So basically if we go look at my main website, so when you have your front page loaded up here, so what you're going to have is you're going to have your header, your footer, and then your overall content will be in the middle, so whatever you have in here. Basically what a wrapper is going to do is it's going to view the source code, and it's going to grab the header HTML and the footer HTML, and it's going to put a start and stop div tag in between them. So that way when an IDX page is displayed, the IDX content is going to be between that start and stop div tag. So when these pages are displayed, here's you got my overall branding, my overall design, and how it is. It's got my mountain in the background, and then when you go to the wrapper, what it's doing is it's literally pulling over. It's going to view like one page. Typically it goes and grabs like a contact us or about us page, because there's not a whole lot of content on there. So it's a little bit easier to remove that center portion of what's in there. So underneath here you got the example realty. This is my header and my navigation menu. My navigation menu actually slides in from the side, a little bit different. Most of them are going to be up on top, so that'll always stay there on all IDX pages, your navigation menu. And then here is my footer. So it pulled the HTML footer from here, and then I have this built into the wrapper. This is my just about me. It's always on any of my pages. And then the IDX content will be displayed basically in this tiny little box, but that box is going to be expandable depending on how much content is in there. So that way it's going to be normal scrolling and not like an iframe. So the wrapper is basically just duplicating what your site looks like and applying it to all the IDX pages. and we'll load up just a predefined search page. And so you can see it's going to, this is that white little space I was just talking about. So everything's going to be in here for that particular area and allow the client to scroll through. I mentioned earlier about embedding a YouTube video. So if you go grab the embed script, so this is again, this is a predefined search. Harlow is a certain area or community in my area, and then homes for sale. I got my page title up on top, my content, and then I always drop the embed script into here so that the client can click on this if they happen to want to view the little video, they can. So if I want the wrapper to look different, maybe with white colored background like white, can I send you that? I can design it in Element. Our support team can definitely help you out. What I would suggest is maybe give them a call, kind of explain what you're trying to do. With it depending on also if it's done with WordPress or if it's done on a regular HTML site. If it's done with WordPress, the plugin actually does it itself. But that is something that you can get in and modify and change, definitely. You can always change the background to complete white. I don't have much experience out on my own, otherwise I would show you that, but definitely reach out to our support team, or if you are with a developer partner, reach out to whoever your developer partner is and ask them. They should definitely be able to help you out with that. We have lots of people that do change it from an image background like mine and then keep it more simple on an IDX page that is just a white background or a black background or whatever it might be. I try to keep it pretty simple, but I don't know if you caught the very early part of this. We do have two sections that kind of help you slow things down and kind of go through stuff independently of what you want. On our IDX Broker pages, up here where it says, let's go back. If you come back to our main website, up here at the top right where it says support, if you click on support, this has our Knowledgebase article. So you can type in a question, anything that you want to be. It could be, we were talking about the wrapper. So we got category and page wrappers, automatically create dynamic wrapper. Just type in something and it'll generate what's available. Another option is going to our IDX Academy, which this is at learn.idxbroker.com. So you can come in here, we have different courses set up and it breaks it down. We got courses for beginners, content creation, our general knowledge, lead management, office management, whatever area you need to go into, you can break these all down. So if we go into customization, search engine optimization, IDX with WordPress, the very beginning, there's 7 lessons for getting started. It kind of helps break things down, and you can watch them at your own pace. You can go back and watch it multiple times. You can also create an account. Once you get inside here, I guess you have to do that. You can create an account, register your name, it'll recognize you, and it'll keep track of the videos you've already watched. You don't go back and watch the duplicate content. On a widget, can you make the view all results to appear in the same format as the main widget? I'm going to say yes and no because I'm not 100% sure what you're meaning as in the same format. What you can do though, you do have control of custom CSS. It might be some custom development on that inside of every widget that you have. If you come into here, you got your edit widget and go to Widget Options. You have the modify with CSS. If there's some stuff you want to change or add, you can apply custom CSS for each individual specific widget. It's not going to be a global setting on that one. I hope this has been helpful for everybody. We are looking to maybe do a few more of these, but it kind of depends on the feedback that we get with the Q&As. Can I use an IDX feed on a website that I own that sells ad space to other businesses? So all IDX pages must reside on a subdomain of your domain set up with the account. So it must, your search, your results, and your details pages. However, these specific widgets that we build, you can actually embed a widget into any domain, provided there are a few MLSs, so do check with your MLSs just to make sure. But typically what you can do is you can embed any showcase, carousel, or slideshow widget or a quick search widget into any domain. However, when you call one of those listings to action or you perform a search off of a quick search, it will return to the subdomain page set up with the account to display that property or that search result. So if it's on, maindomain.com is where your IDX broker is set up, but you want to set it up in communitya.com. Community A can have it. You're paying for ads to go to that website. They can click on a property, but it's going to go back to the subdomain for maindomain.com. Thank you guys very much for attending. This has been recorded and it will be posted up on our YouTube channel. Have a great afternoon.